Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sian. Today I've got for you my top 5 things for you to do when you're visiting Coba in Mexico with children. Most of these probably count without children as well, but I visited with children and these things definitely helped. First tip is hire bikes or get the bike taxis. When we arrived it was about 11 o'clock in the day. It was quite busy. There was a big queue for the bike taxis. They're relatively expensive as well, around about $10, and they take 2 people at a time on the bike taxi. For us, we were a party of 6 people. It would have cost quite a lot of money to kind of go on these little taxis. So we decided to hire bikes. The children are 10 and 8, so perfectly capable of riding bikes. They have plenty of children's bikes, plenty of adult bikes. Just be careful to check the brakes before you set off, because some of the brakes are slightly dodgy. We found that the bikes helped us immensely. Cycling along gave us a beautiful cool breeze on our faces when it was so stiflingly hot without that breeze, and it was a really nice way to see Coba. We did take a map, but we didn't quite follow it, so we did quite a bit of exploring before we got round to the main pyramid, which you can climb. We obviously did climb it, and I will have a tip coming up on that later on. So my second tip is to take water and snacks. We did have some water with us. It wasn't quite enough. I would say a bottle of water per person and just some snacks to keep the children and you going, because it's bound to be a hot day. If you're climbing up the pyramid, it is very steep and it takes quite a lot out of you to get to the top, and by the time you get down you really need a drink. Every single person that we saw that had just come down the pyramid was bright red, and we were absolutely no exception, especially me. I stayed bright red for pretty much the rest of the day actually. So take snacks and take some water. You will need it. It will be hot. If you're cycling through you do get that nice breeze, but you definitely need to come prepared and have enough water on you. The third tip, if you're going to climb up the pyramid, and I would highly recommend that you do climb up, don't look down on your way up, but also when you're coming down, come down on your bottom. Most other people are doing it. It's far less likely that you're going to slip if you come down on your bottom. You will see what I mean from the videos. It's very steep. The steps are very slippery. They're worn because so many thousands of people have walked up and down them. There's a rope there for you to hold on to. Make the most of that rope and come down safely. It's so much easier to come down on your bottom, and if you slip, you're only going to slip down 1 step, whereas if you slip standing up, you're going to fall quite a lot further, and it will probably hurt quite a lot. So I definitely recommend coming down on your bottom and coming down slowly. Number 4, explore as much as you can, especially if you have young children with you. They'll probably get tired at some point, they might get a bit bored. My children really enjoyed the addition of the bikes because after every little bit of sightseeing we did, we always had to jump back on our bikes to go and explore a bit more. So they never really got bored, which was great, but they have also been studying the Mayans at school, so they'd had a whole term of studying, so they had all this knowledge that I didn't, because I've never studied the Mayans. So they had all this kind of knowledge about the area, about the different buildings, and that really helped. So I guess if you can educate them in any way about the Mayans before you go, then that might help your experience. But just keep them entertained with little trips on bikes. So visiting one little thing and then stopping, getting on your bikes, visiting the next thing along. And my 5th tip is take sun protection. A lot of what you're doing is out in the open. Yes, it's through the jungle, and yes, you are going to be on kind of tracks and things in the jungle, but the sun still gets there, and when you're up on the top of the pyramid the sun is boiling hot. So make sure you're wearing hats, make sure you have your sunscreen, make sure you've got your Factor 50 top on if that's what you need. Make sure you are covered up and safe in the sun. Another thing to note is that you're not allowed to take drones into the site. There's no drone filming allowed at all, and you also need to pay a small fee for video and photography within the site. It's definitely worth doing though. Coba for me was one of the best days of our holiday. We really enjoyed our time there. There's all sorts of things you can tie it in with. There are loads of cenotes nearby which you could go swim in, but there's also Tulum if you wanted to go shopping. We ended up going shopping because we knew we were going to some cenotes on a different day. I will link down below the videos from Mexico that we've got, and I hope you enjoy watching them. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye!